Hello and welcome to episode 22 of I'm Fine, a chat between myself, Damo, and 80s mohair jumper magnate, Mark.
Which is with us in the house.
It is, it's behind you.
Yeah.
Very exciting. It's a chat around the subjects of health, wealth, well-being, fitness, sport, conspiracy, lockdowns, shutdowns, smackdowns, hoedowns, and life's ups and downs. We're all work in progress, and this podcast is no exception. In short, it's a poke at our perfectly imperfect lives. And if we can make just one person feel like they're not alone in all this madness, then our work here is done. You're very close to the mic today. You're kind of...
It's because of that review.
We're going to come to that. Probably in the next episode.
I'm paranoid. I'm literally going to be shouting.
But no one's going to hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tease for the next episode.
Okay. Sounds
There's
like
me getting all organised,
yeah.
and you've just literally come in and done just what you said you would and throw it all up in the air straight away.
I think this afternoon is in about the last 3 minutes has encapsulated our two characters. You're there with like books, post-it notes and order, and I'm going...
You just turned up with a couple of caramel.
Yeah, Tunnock's caramel, dark chocolate.
I mean,
the purists won't like that, will they?
No, we already got some feedback on that. On
Oh,
Instagram,
right.
Someone was like, what? Dark chocolate? Are you
Heathens.
deviants?
Yeah.
So coming up in this episode, got some bookmarks and apologies. I have a couple of surprises for you. Mark, God of War. In Work-Life Ballet, we've got Lockdown 2. We're in Lockdown 2. And just for those rule books amongst us, we are following the official guidelines as of today.
Yeah,
we can't guarantee there'll be...
I'm in Cornwall.
And I'm not.
But I think our natural chemistry and rapport almost makes it feels like we're in the same room.
Doesn't it? How's the coffee, all right? That you got for yourself?
No,
Down
I
in
got a
Cornwall,
hot
Cornish.
chocolate. Yeah, I got a cream tea.
Jam first?
Isn't Cornwall cream first?
Don't say that. They'll all be writing in.
You know, I mentioned Fred Wong when I showed you the picture just now.
Yeah.
He showed a picture of a cream tea the other day as well.
Right. Do you know which
in
order?
Kuala Lumpur. Well, I texted him and said, Fred, what's your order? Cream first, jam second, he said.
So he's Devon, isn't he? You're right, Cornwall is
Well,
jam
he's wrong.
first.
I don't know what county it is. He's just wrong. Fred wrong.
My family is in...
Yeah.
I did that joke in the kitchen. You sounded like I shouldn't have said it.
I thought you sounded racist. I thought I was just amusing. We probably need to say Fred is a guy that I DM in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, you've never met Fred, right?
Never met Fred.
Okay.
But we just sometimes go, hey, bro.
What's happening?
Really like him.
What's happening in Kuala Lumpur, dude?
Yeah, if you look at his Instagram, he's everything I'm not. He's ordered.
Well, it's Kuala Lumpian,
Kuala Lumpur.
for a start.
That was Willy Wonka, wasn't it?
What?
The orange ones.
Oh, Plumpers.
Oh, not Kuala Lumpur.
Not Kuala Lumpur. Oh, God, we need to move this on quick.
Yeah.
I got
Edit.
Yeah. Lockdown 2. So we're going to do a little bit on unlocking your mindset.
Okay.
Well, hopefully, I'm quite excited about it.
Hopefully you're quite excited.
Yeah. I'm hopeful it's going to be good enough to be excited about.
Okay.
And in Drop and Give Me 20, we've got Lifting in Lockdown, the first of our series of 3 workouts you can do at home.
Yeah.
He looks over, have you done your homework?
I've done the homework, and I've also checked with somebody because there is an accompanying video for the second lot of exercises for someone who can do the exercises way better than me.
Oh.
So there'll be a link in the notes for
And
people to be able to watch a video
That's cool.
of someone doing what we're talking about.
Excellent. That's thorough.
Thorough.
How are you? I mean, last week was all a bit of a... wasn't it?
Yeah, sort of continued really. As I was just telling you in the kitchen, I've been put on medication that's meant to take 3 months to build up to.
Right, yeah.
And that took a day.
Yeah.
Now
You fast-tracked your drug taking.
Yeah, I should have read the packet rather than trusting a doctor.
That's blokes, we don't read the instructions, do we?
No.
Just
It's like
neck
putting
it.
an IKEA chest of drawers together.
Yeah. Just get down your neck.
No,
You
I'm good. I'm good.
You seem good. Like sprightly and kind of, unless you're feeling different inside.
No,
but-
I've said to several people that I am finding this cathartic, the podcast per se.
Oh, right.
And so I think the sprightliness is a little bit of, if I'm here with doom and gloom and going, well, it defeats the whole object of what we're trying to do, doesn't it? If it's an hour of
It can
just
be doom and gloom. It's
morbidity.
Right. It's all the light and
Light
shade,
and shade.
of our lives, isn't it?
No, well, I'm going sprightly to start with.
We'll see how we get right.
We'll see how
I
we
might
get
be
right.
picking you off the
No
floor.
promises. Yeah. And yourself? Because didn't see you on Thursday.
You didn't know. Yeah, I'm okay.
Good.
Just the idea that it's coming around again and it's just kind of taking the wind out of people's sails, isn't it?
But don't you think that there's a sense of
Deja vu.
deja flu, as Private Eye said. No, more a sense of that people not necessarily are questioning, but are just going, in the first one, you're telling us to do this and we'll do it. And it is sunny and and then people are saying to themselves, I can't quite understand that. And I know there was
well, things aren't joining up. I think they've probably not realised that since the last one, everyone's been deep diving into all the stats and asking around, and it is incredibly well educated on.
Yeah, and there's two sides to every story, isn't there?
Yeah,
there was a story in the Mail today, and I'm not a Mail reader, but this was up on Twitter, and some people were criticising it. But for Twitter, there was a very high percentage of people going, actually, that makes sense. This guy had written one or two things about the incongruous nature of lockdown 2 and was saying things like, you can have sex with your wife, but you can't play tennis with her.
Right. You can play tennis with her.
No, you can't.
Of course you can.
No.
But you can.
No.
You can?
No.
Have you looked this up?
Yes.
And you can't?
No.
On what grounds?
You can't play tennis in lockdown 2. You know, I'm getting tennis coaching.
Yeah.
The coach wrote to me and said,
but tennis is off. I thought you could do exercise with someone else.
You can go for a walk. You can't do golf or tennis. Those are two things that are not allowed. So I could go for a walk with my tennis coach.
But you couldn't sleep with him. Hold on. No, I'm getting confused. What can you do with him? 15
love. When I have my tennis coaching, he stands at the other end of the court.
That's normally how tennis works.
Oh, yeah.
You mean he's your opponent?
Yeah. So he's at the other end, lobbing balls down, and I do forehand, backhand. Yeah. So we're always the length of the whole court apart. Mm-hmm. Occasionally might come up a little bit closer for volleys or something. But because the rules on tennis are you cannot do tennis, the same as golf.
Oh, just flat out can't do it, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think what people are doing, what this article in the Daily Mail was saying, if you take golf as an example, if you said to, if a Martian came from the other world and said, explain lockdown 2 to me, I'm new to your world, and you went, here's somebody in a Pringle jumper, you can go for a walk.
Stereotypical, but go on.
You can go for a walk with them. And he'd go, understood. And you said, this is somebody in a Pringle jumper with a golf stick in their golf club in their hand. On a golf course, which is 8 miles long, you cannot go for a walk with them. And the Martian, as you would expect, would go quizzically, oh, what's the reason for that? And then you just have to look blankly.
That's crazy.
Them's the rules. So I can't play tennis with someone who's going to be 30 metres away from me.
Yeah, that's crazy. As Peter Alice once said, happiness is a long walk with a putter.
Peter Alice.
Yeah. Did you see Southampton's tweet last night?
I know they're top of the Premier.
Yeah.
I didn't see the tweet.
Well, after their 2-0 win over Newcastle last night, they're now top of the Premier League for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And they tweeted a picture of the table with the caption, "Stop the count."
All right. Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's still no president at this very minute.
No. Have you seen the
Well, there is. There isn't a new one, is what I mean.
Yeah.
There's an existing
How can
one.
it be, if you're counting something, why would things be slower in one state than another? Surely people have the same ability to count. They're not the biggest states, are they?
No, I think it's all to do with whether they're actually even there to start with. I don't think some of the
they haven't finished filling them in yet. They haven't decided.
Yeah. But we now have something very much in common with Donald Trump. That we've both been fact-checked by Facebook. So it happens to the best and worst of us, doesn't it? The plural of taco is tacos.
Okay. So it is a single taco.
Yeah.
I know when you said you were going to check this, and I thought, good, you're thorough. I like that.
And you're also a prick.
I was also going to say, we edited the whole thing out. So you're talking about something and the readership or listeners.
I didn't edit tacos out.
When we were talking about Halloween costumes.
Yeah, but I left tacos in, didn't I?
Did you?
Oh God, no! I did edit it out.
Yeah.
So this is completely not. This is
complete
completely
nonsense.
Oh,
yeah. So Mr. Organised, ball stuff again.
Oh,
it's not going well for you today, is it?
Try my best. Brown envelopes. It's not all bad news in brown envelopes.
Go on.
Have you ever had a tax rebate?
Yeah, it's all done online, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you still get a notification.
Okay.
In a brown envelope.
Okay. All right.
Smart
well done.
Ass.
Well done for spending a week making me. One of the things I want to talk about later, I'm going to drop this in now.
Yeah.
Because I know I said there was a lot of candle-related stuff I wanted to cover.
Uh-huh.
Blowing someone else's candle doesn't make yours glow brighter. Thank you.
Why don't you leave that to the end?
Because you've just done it. You've just basically taken a fire extinguisher to my candle with your brown envelope analogy. Firefighter Damo.
I'm not even sure this is you. This is a different you.
This is a beta blocker, me.
Yeah, this may be a chilled out you. I'm not really sure what I've got.
No, I'm not good on beta blockers.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Not picking up the phone.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I think we're kind of encouraged not to these days. Have you noticed when you go to, say, a brand, you're doing some shopping and you want to get hold of them, you know, kind of the shoes you sent are the wrong size, or, you know, the ointment you said has made my rash worse, you know, one of those. And you try and get back to them and you try and go, you just want a phone number.
Yeah.
Just to try and, but they don't give you them, do they? Because they want to push you kind of down an email route. They basically don't want anyone sat there taking phone calls, do they? Yeah. Because it's expensive. And it's, you know.
And there's someone you can pick on as well, isn't there? If there's a being.
Yeah, and then who wants to get shouted at? Yeah. You know, certainly digitally, we're kind of encouraged to go to, you know, the chat to the bottom right of the website. Oh, you know, talk to Brian the bot. I actually quite like that. If there's an opportunity to do that, I will find the chat.
Do you find yourself being overly polite on those chats?
I won't go out of my way, you know, over. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm polite generally.
Because the protocol from them is quite, is there anything further we can do for you today, sir? And all, it is a very, you know, it's scripted, but I quite like that sort of.
Oh, yeah. But I will go, no, thank you, have a good day. And,
well,
you know, I won't just go.
Yeah.
I have an apology. Mm-hmm. Well, I can have two now. Tacos is my first one. You know.
That's human error. Your human error, not mine.
I also said at the beginning of the last episode that we're going to do Kinky Queens and Radio Silence.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't do the Radio Silence bit because we actually did record it and I found it so boring I took it out. So I'm in that kind of, I'm going to mention it because I like to be, as you said, thorough.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that exciting. What was Kinky Queens?
And I just thought it was quite ironic that I was actually silent about it.
Yeah.
Kinky Queen. Thanks for listening.
Go on.
The Catherine II, Catherine the Great.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't get more kinky than having a horse lowered onto you, does it?
No.
You mentioned the thing about radio silence and if there's any alarms going off if there was dead air, because we had a little bit of dead air on here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we get it a lot.
Episodes 4 to 17.
I think, so in the broadcasting industry, a dark television station or silent radio station is one that has gone off air for an indefinite period of time, usually, unlike dead air, broadcasting only silence, a station that is dark or silent does not transmit a carrier signal. In the US, dead air, if prolonged and occurring without permission, is an actionable offence that can result in fines from the FCC. Mm-hmm. Broadcast stations can use programmable devices known as silent sensors, off-air alarms, or silence monitors that will sound an alarm and alert personnel if dead air persists for more than a few seconds, which I think is what you were thinking about, wasn't it?
When you asked me, did I have any apologies just before this started?
You said no. No, you do this. You normally remember them at the end.
No, this was just an apology. It's funny. I do have concerns about how my brain works. That's factual. But when you said that, the apology that I was about to say was, I'm sorry that I missed history O-level. I was going to apologise to my parents, but I mean, they are both dead, so maybe it's too late, but I missed it.
I like to think this podcast is far-reaching.
I was playing football and I missed it, and I sort of want to apologise for that, because I think...
Oh, you missed your exam? You were playing football? Oh, right.
Just passed me by.
And they never knew?
Well, they did when I got a bloody U.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say? I was playing. Well, did you?
Well,
did you fess up at the time?
There was 2 papers. I missed one of them, so I think I ended up doing. I got an E or something. But
right.
You're going to struggle to pass your exams, missing 50% of the paper.
Yeah, that guilt just came out like a burp, did it? In
fact, talking of guilt, I cheated in French as well.
Anything else you want to get off your chest?
A-level economics.
Oh, right.
Well, I got a feeling the authorities might come round. I think this is the beta blockers talking. So at school. My best mate took his A-levels, took something like, I don't know, Latin, economics and chemistry. Do you know what I mean? Like quite a strange combination. And because of the combination, there was a clash between chemistry and economics, the A-level paper.
Right.
And so he had to do his economics in the morning and the rest of us had to do them in the afternoon. And we realised that if there was any way he could get the questions to us, we'd have about 3 or 4 hours to look up all the answers. So basically, he got his question paper, screwed it up, And as he walked out, we
You loved
put a
it.
little bin outside because he was escorted
Nice done, yeah.
because it was a boarding school, day school and boarding school. But they took him to like matron to be like in isolation. But
Right,
he put
okay.
the question paper in a bin that we left outside. So
Nice
the rest,
work.
we all passed except him.
Oh, I took one for the team.
So again, sorry to him.
Oh, blimey, yeah. Any others? I'm
That's
sure there'll be
it.
more, but
That's just
that's
the
just it for now,
exam-based
isn't it?
apologies. Yeah,
Okay. Are you ready for your first surprise?
yeah. I'm slightly anxious. Go for
Are
it.
you?
Yeah, just a bit.
Why?
Well, just the anticipation. You've obviously been doing some homework.
Yeah, we are now going to go into work-life ballet. Are you ready?
Yeah. Antarctic monkeys.
I think you want another apology to the monkey fighters, haven't you?
You do dislike when I get their name wrong.
I love it and hate it.
Yeah.
So, in equal measures.
You're torn. You're thinking they're mates.
It's funny though.
That was quite quick as well, actually.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Them again?
Yeah.
Love them.
They're good, aren't they?
Love 'em.
Hey? We're talking about do music, so
Yeah.
it's what I do, innit? It's what I do. It's
Get
the Obama.
get things done.
3-point swish. Anyway, better go on with that section, right? Rather than chest bumping.
Yeah. 200 miles apart.
We've already mentioned lockdown too. We have to give everything a name, don't we, these days? Everything has to have a name.
Yeah, I guess.
We talked about in the last episode. You talked about training and people getting to the new mindset and predictability.
Yeah.
We knew this was coming. I wanted to kind of, really think about how I was working from home and trying to get into a good mindset and create some good new habits. So I just looked at kind of ways to unlock a mindset, some top tips for working, being effective and productive in the confines of your four walls.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Please join in as you would.
I guess I've been working from home always, haven't I?
I don't know, have you?
Well, no, during the
Not
PT
ever.
stuff, it's all,
Yeah.
it's a home-based
That's
activity, isn't it?
where you work,
You
isn't
train,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go on then, fire.
So the first one, be conscious of what you're absorbing. And by this, I mean stimulus that you are setting yourself up to receive. It can be the people around you. So are they negative? Are they positive? Are they supportive? Are they calming? Are they aligned with what you're trying to achieve? I mean, this could obviously go more than just work. Your environment. So are you comfortable? Do you have the tools you need? Is it quiet? Do you like, have you got a radio? Do you need music? Do you need silence? Do you need background noise? Is the lighting right? I'm quite funny about lighting. I don't like being in bright lights. So.
No.
And do you have any distractions that you need to eliminate from your kind of working environment? And again, there's physical and mental things here that you can take from this, that we can all have clutter, physical clutter, and we can all have mental clutter. So it's kind of being aware of, if there is clutter, where is it, what is it, and can we remove it if we feel it either kind of stresses us out or we could be better without it. Number 2 is have the right sources. Now, this one came from something I was reading, which wasn't something I'd normally think about, but I think it's certainly relevant to the things we've been talking about. So if you require information to get things done, take the time to understand them in your own way. So surround yourself with the data sources and tools that give you what you need, and alternatively remove resources that you feel are superfluous to your goals.
So getting rid of distractions then.
Yeah, if you kind of need either information from from the internet or from colleagues or from anyone, then I guess part 2 of this is don't take what you read or hear at face value. Explore all angles and views to ensure your understanding and view is true to you. It negates the chance for doubt and lack of confidence in your own knowledge. Because I didn't really think about it until I read about it. You can actually be less confident. If it's not your subject, doesn't mean you can't talk confidently about it. But obviously you need to kind of get into it and understand it. So it's so easy to read stuff and just go and regurgitate that.
Yeah.
Like this podcast. But it's, if you read around it and then kind of make, which hopefully I've done here, make your own kind of informed view based on your own experiences, that can give you a bit more confidence than to go and write or present or talking to someone. I thought it sounds like quite a small thing, but I think it's quite important.
I'm just trying to tie in with something I've been doing today. It's to do with mindfulness, but it's yet another different course to the one I've talked about before. I'm a bit course heavy at the moment.
This is perfect for this then, coming up to my points in a minute. But
I'm just wondering whether there's 2 things when you were saying about, you were sort of saying at the beginning about getting everything ready around you. So one of the things I'm doing now is this feet on floor, bum on chair, FOFPOC, which is a mindfulness thing. And it came up today in the Zoom meeting about someone saying a lot of people who are displaying anxiety often won't be grounded with the earth. And quite often you see people tapping their feet or having shakes in their legs or having their feet underneath their bum when they're sitting. And I am now doing this sort of
Oh,
very...
yeah, you're not doing any of those things.
I'm not doing any of these things. So there is that grounding. But the interesting thing around the mindfulness today, that there was a little, is it Venn diagram with the little circles? It had emotional mind and it had logical mind, and they saw the intersection as being wise mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little bit what you're saying now, that wisdom in the is that combination of knowing stuff, but also having the emotional intelligence to be able to use
it's good.
what you know. Yeah. And so the wise mind can grow, but it has to be a combination of those other two.
That's really good.
So, yeah, it's a nice little diagram.
Excellent. That's it. It's kind of Paul's mind. Because I felt that was quite woolly on its own, surrounding yourself with sources, but you've just made it less woolly.
Good.
And like the jumper behind you, which we'll come to in a minute.
I basically sheared you.
Yeah. Create and repeat a new habit. Yeah. This isn't new. But what's the one thing you want to make a habit of? Starting the day earlier to finish earlier, getting 2 hours of deep work a day done, creating spare time to train or spend time with your family. And what thing can you do and want to do that you can realistically do with consistency and repetition? Let's face it, there's nothing worse than putting effort into something that's just miserable. So I think that's quite, because people talk about creating habits, but I've been reading about desire as well, in terms of to be productive and be motivated to do something, you need to want to do it. You know, with work, there's always there's always stuff that we have to do as part of our job. We don't necessarily have a desire to, but I think we can build things in our day that have desire in them that we really, really want to do.
The desire...
It might help you get that thing done that you need to do for work, or you need to do for someone else or whatever. Or it can just be, no, I'm just going to do that for me because it's really important. I need to make my soul feel good about that thing.
That sometimes the task that you need to do, you're going to have to dig deep to get any desire out of it. And the thing I'm finding with one particular client at the moment, who I'm really, really proud of, is that she has created a desire around the streak of consistency. So the tasks she's doing are mundane.
Right.
The excitement comes from every day she completes that task. So the task doesn't have any thrill.
She's applying her own desire to help get that done.
Exactly. So I'm getting a WhatsApp going, do you know, for 3 days I've done this mundane thing. So it's that streak, and I'm a big supporter of streak. And I was thinking, actually, it's one of the things that happens a lot in terms of things like NA and AA, that is very much about, you know, when was the day you last. So it's that streak between, you often repeat the last day you drank if you're going alcohol free.
Okay, what was the NA? Sorry, what was that?
So Narcotics Anonymous.
Okay, no, alcohol,
you would do, you know, I've been dry, or I've been clean since this date. And that date becomes very important, because it's then the streak where you can go back and go, yeah, that's a day, a month, or 25 years, whatever it happens to be.
So the streak is based on I don't know, does that create a motivation, or does that create the buzz, or is that based on desire? Could it be potentially the streak?
Yes,
because that's not a term I've heard
the
before.
streak is self-fulfilling, because what happens with the streak is that you then have to question if you break the streak. I gave the example before when we were doing the 10,000 steps, and I was saying I got to 123 days, and then we had that trouble with Garmin.
Yeah.
What disappointed me wasn't that I hadn't done 10,000 steps, it was that I now had to go another 124 days to get a streak that big.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So it wasn't the task itself that was exciting me. It was look at the
streak,
discipline and consistency that I've shown in
so the
achieving
streak
it.
is the run.
Yes, the streak is the uninterrupted run of doing a task.
I just thought it might have been a slightly different terminology. But okay, got it.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced that on not drinking. You get to the point where you don't want to ruin your streak.
Yeah.
And it probably feels like it's maybe 3-4 months in for me.
Yeah.
Then it becomes, I don't want to break that.
Not just for one beer.
Then it becomes, it's going to under, and then you get to the point where you don't even think about the streak. Yeah. It's just your way of life now. So not drinking is now an incredibly well ingrained habit.
Yeah.
Some of these are a little bit kind of inspired by other things, but I tried to put my own spin on them.
Yeah.
Number 4 is start right, end right. Spend a couple of minutes at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, or both, just to get your thoughts down for whatever reason, whether that's celebrating your small wins, a reminder for the next day, or in my case, just to stop it rattling around in my head.
Yeah.
You know, list is always good at writing stuff down. Do whether you write stuff down, because you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Do whether you put it anywhere. Some people don't have to put it anywhere. They can keep it all on their head and they're fine with it. I just find writing it down and even moving... It's probably getting into bullet journals, which I don't do, but even just writing a list, then even if I have to take that list and write exactly the same thing down on another page under a different date, that really, really helps me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I've got a lot of store-by lists, yeah.
And again, just the starting right and ending right kind of touches on the small steps and the take a breath, take a step thing that we've been trying to bring into this, which I find really helpful. So just spending that, you get a coffee, spend 5 minutes just jotting down what you need to do. I don't need to do all those things in that day. They're just things that are on my horizon, really. Yeah. And then I'll kind of spend the last minute going, right, if I do one thing today, what is it? So that, again, really, really simple, and lots of people talk about it. It's not new, but number 5 is simplify, simplify, simplify.
Ironic you said that 3 times.
Oh, it's good. I feel a little bit silly, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, that's got to stay.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh, he's so smart. As Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, oh, all these difficult. All these people that say brilliant things have got really hard names to pronounce.
Like Mark.
Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, I'm going to give it a bit of a French, said, perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. One of my favourite things.
Yeah.
So I will rename this Simplify. So really double down on removing the extraneous elements of your life. That's really broad, and that can be really difficult, granted. But even something as simple as the items on your desk or the amount of to-do lists that you give yourself. Can you combine any tasks into one? Are your 5 high priorities really that high when you look at them? I sometimes do that. I mean, it sounds really dramatic, but is anyone going to die if I don't do this?
Yeah.
Normally the answer is no.
Yeah.
Unless you're a doctor. But you can kind of look at it and go, really, what's the worst that's going to happen if I don't do that? And that's quite a good way of going, no, I don't need to do that at all. Which brings me on to what can wait for tomorrow or what can find the trash. I think it'd be amazing once you look at stuff, you just go, I don't need to do that at all. So there's a handful of ideas there, but I just wanted to give you my top 3 things that I do right now. So first one, deal with the ugly frogs first.
Right.
So this is a quote by Mark Twain. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. Lots of people have taken the idea of dealing with frogs in various ways. But there's a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog, where the premise is that your frog is your biggest, most important task, the one you are most likely to procrastinate on if you don't do something about it. It's also the one task that can have the greatest positive impact on your life and results at the moment. The first rule of frog eating is this: if you have to eat 2 frogs, eat the ugliest one first. So it's worked for me because I like to get the ugly frogs dealt with early doors.
I'm sort of guessing on this a bit, but it was something I brought up a couple of podcasts ago when I was saying that I procrastinated and putting off certain tasks, and going to the dentist was one of them. And bearing in mind what you've just said, the ugly frog of the dentist still had to be eaten.
Yeah.
But by putting off eating it for weeks, all I had then was the ugly frog still there.
It's getting uglier.
And I'd had all those weeks of worrying at its ugliness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if I'd eaten it on day 1, it would have been the same outcome without the strife beforehand. So I think that is a good one.
Just one thing can be really, really difficult. And this ugly frog might just be, could be something that's just really confrontational that you have to get out.
Yeah.
That you've been worrying about. You're up at night thinking about it. Get it scheduled in. Get it done. And that the feeling of getting that really ugly frog nailed before 10 o'clock, for example,
could give
is
you
a
boost
fantastic
to the other stuff, I guess.
Yeah, going to. You think, well, if it does.
If I can do the frog, then the rest's easy.
My second one is aim for at least 1 hour of deep work a day.
Okay, deep work. We did busy work, didn't we?
Yeah, well, deep work. There's a great book called
Deep Work.
Deep Work. By Cal Newport. So his definition of deep work is professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that puts your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. So shallow work is non-cognitively demanding, logistical style tasks often performed while distracted. These efforts tend not to create much new value in the world and are easy to replicate. Sounds like a small step, but if I can have an hour of kind of uninterrupted work, that is really good for me. I think when cafes were open, so I'm in the office and I just want to get something done, I will then take myself off to a cafe, sit down there, headphones on, and bosh through whatever it is. And what I can do in an hour, what anyone can do in an hour, is sometimes the doing less well that we talked about. I find that incredibly productive for me. Whether you need to change your environment, or come off your laptop and write something down, or go and take a walk and think about something. That can be deep work in a way, or just making notes or something. But
just anecdotally, because one of the things that I think happens when we have these discussions is that because we have a number of differences in our approach to life in general, you just see I move my phone then. One of the things we're very good is we do have fairly strict rules about this. It's like no eating, unless it's at the end of a chicken sandwich. We don't look at our phones. We do concentrate on presenting what we're presenting, and it isn't just sort of. But if you notice, then I just moved my phone from the table. There is no need for that to be in my line of vision because I'm not going to touch my phone.
Yeah.
If I'm seeing that phone, part of my brain's going, there might be a red dot.
Yeah, that's
there.
right. Yeah.
Now I can't see the phone.
Yeah.
The red dot has gone further from my mind.
Definitely.
And it's interesting. Something we're going to talk about, this piece of paper, which I haven't even mentioned to you, that came through the post in a brown envelope, as it happens. That was in my line of sight.
Yeah.
And I don't like that piece of paper, so I've put it under the
Do you
table.
want to explain the real reason why you don't like that piece of paper?
No, I'll come into it a little bit more detail. Yeah, I'll come into a bit more detail. There's several reasons I don't like it.
So just to wrap this little bit up, for me, as we touched on the other week, we're all guilty of letting things overwhelm us.
Yeah.
And that overwhelm is the thing that's become the consistent and repetitive thing.
Yeah. All consuming, isn't it?
Yeah.
The overwhelming. But
and going back to the simplify, unless we can do that and keep doing that, then it'll always feel like we're on the back foot. So, I totally understand that we're not going to stop the external and unplanned impacts on our lives. We can get into the habit of taking a little time to assess them and actually understand how important they are to our specific goals. And I think this whole thing for me is about control. I think we have more control than we probably give ourselves credit for. And I think it's just because we have got into the habit of piling things on things, taking that time to kind of go, all of those things don't really matter. They don't.
No.
And we can just go, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to listen to that person, or I'm not going to see that person. I'm going to put my phone in my pocket and go for a walk.
Yeah.
Or we're totally in control of these things. And they might feel like very trivial things, but they're not. If you add them all up, they become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
If you could just fill this table full of all the things that we feel overwhelmed by.
Yeah.
We looked at them individually, they probably seem like absolutely nothing.
Using AA as an example, one of the 12 steps is about, as a précis, don't worry about the things you can't control.
Yeah.
They are by very definition outside your control. Yeah. It's too easy, and maybe because of the pressures from social media that we've discussed before, there's almost this feeling of, if you get everything sorted, then you're going to have your empty desk and you can sit back and go, that's it, I've got life sorted.
Yeah.
It's a bit like your cottage core in Nigella. It's like, there's the perfect meal, everything's done, I've nothing. Yeah. There's always going to be stuff on the table.
There is, yes.
But it's how you deal with that stuff rather than expecting it all to be cleared.
Yeah. No, and the list I kind of started on, which was, be conscious of what you're absorbing, which is a lot like controlling what you're putting in your mouth when you come to nutrition.
Yeah.
You can not put that
10x
that's sat in front of us biscuit in your mouth.
Yeah.
Or so we have a choice of where we get our sources from, and we have a choice of whether we create new habits.
Yeah.
Or, continue with existing bad ones. We have a choice of how we start and end the day. And we have a choice of how much we want to simplify our life if we choose to do so. So there we are. There's a few bits that I just and I've been really focused on getting that done this week. And
has it been positive for you?
Yeah, I think it has.
Good.
There's certainly I don't need to worry about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time and a place, and just taking that, let's just let that one simmer.
Yeah.
That's been really, really helpful. Anything else? Is that right? Does
No.
that make sense?
Yeah. Got it all. It's like a takeover. You're going solo now.
What do you mean? I'm going on my own.
You got all this planning, yeah. I'm just like
my stooge.
your stooge, yeah.
Am I taking over this episode? I have, haven't I?
Suddenly I'm the back end of the pantomime donkey.
Just for this
Yeah.
one. Would you like your second surprise?
Go on.
'Cause it's time for Drop and Give Me 20.
Okay. Great.
We gave you the cheeky one. Do you like it?
Yeah. I'm trying to... Can I have another quick play? I'm trying to...
Which one I do?
I'm just trying to place what it reminds me of.
Okay, let's go.
Not Stranglers, No More Heroes.
Oh, that's quite good.
Do, 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 do.
Anyway, that's your new theme.
Love it.
So, lifting and lockdown. Over to you. I'm going to shut my face for a bit.
So one of the things I've realised listening back, as we do repeatedly to our own voices in
Can't get enough.
more self-congratulatory, just to get the figures up. Welcome to the Ukraine as well.
Yeah. Hello.
We set a lot of hairs running every week, don't we? With either like faux competitions. And by the way, was it Dave?
David,
who won the cormorants? Has he had anything?
No, I haven't sent it yet. I was hanging out for any other entries on our main competition, but we're just going to have to... I think, should we call it?
Yeah, we'll send him.
Okay.
We'll send him something.
So competition ended at 15:59.
We continually say about having a takeaway, having one particular little nugget that people, and I've found this week, 1 or 2 bits of feedback that I've really enjoyed is especially clients, I think, going, when you said that one thing.
Yeah.
And I love that as a start.
No, it's really
like,
good,
it doesn't matter that there was a lot of bump and waffle. If there was something that's made a difference, and that's what we're after, I guess. And so I think what I was saying about the lockdown lifting, just saying to someone, just try this.
Yep.
And basically, habit stacking is you have certain habits that become your default. So you were saying about putting the kettle on, making a cup of coffee. You don't have to remind yourself every day to do that. You don't have to remind yourself every day to get dressed. Those are habits when they start off, and they then become life.
Yep.
So with habit stacking is if you've already got a habit that's established and has become default, and you're trying to create a new habit to become default, then you stack them together.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking whether this is a habit stacking. So the 2 things we're going to do, I don't know if this is going to work live on air. We're going to give it a go. So this is a 5-minute tricep exercise. And it's not rocket science. It's not clever. It's not.
I've got the feeling that I'm going to be the demo here.
You're going to be the demo. But I just want, if someone's going to see this or read this, does this work? And if it doesn't work with you, we can either
right,
be cruel on the edit. And the second thing, which I think we'll do in the next podcast, is that I was saying, Amelia, who is a guest on 15, has done a number of workouts that are way beyond anything I can do in terms of, she's got great form and great technique.
Yeah.
And I contacted her today. They're on her Instagram. But if we give the link to that, rather than us go, here's all these different squats.
She's got all of them. I think we can
it.
link straight to the highlights. I think she's got all of them in maybe one highlight. So.
And again, that might open up, and that there might be other things people want to see. But I thought if we do this first one, almost to show how easy it is, and because we haven't preempted this, so I'm literally going to ask you to do this, and then you can give your feedback as you go.
Okay, so this is just as a reminder that we're going to do 3 of these over the next 3 episodes.
Yep.
This one is for
an upper body workout, just particularly for your triceps. Your chest will get a little bit moved.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah. The second one we're going to be looking at lower body with the squats. Correct?
Yeah, a variety of squats that we'll use from Amelia. And the last one is going to be stability and balance.
Yeah.
So just small things that you can do.
Then we're going to put each of these up as little highlights.
Yeah. One might just be a link to a video. One might be, I think, a written format of what you're about to do now.
Yeah.
Just
so I think
we'll.
So that's going to be 3 over the next kind of week and a half, really. Yeah. So you don't have to wait that long to have them. Okay. Yeah. Where do you want me?
So this isn't going to be one of those things about, this is going to be, your 28-day guide to fat loss, or this isn't going to be building rock solid abs. It's just doing an exercise to work a muscle on your body. Full stop. So takes 5 minutes, never any longer. I don't want people to do 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's not the point of these. So the first one is press ups against a wall.
Yes.
So you can use the door there. Okay. So literally just going to stand a bit away from the door, arms out, touching the door, and then just about shoulder width apart, and then you're just going to lower your chest between your hands as if you were doing a press up, and you're going to do that for 30 seconds. And the reason we're doing it like this is that this is easier than a press up. So if somebody is new to doing this particular exercise, they can do this and they don't have to progress to the other ones. And although that's easy to start with, it's not that easy when you continue. You're still working.
And it's good for my not so good arm. I don't know whether you can hear me. Can you hear me talking?
I can hear you talking.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, so you can just stop that. So that's going to be 30 seconds. Yep. And then you rest for 30 seconds. Yep. And then you repeat. That's twice. Okay. Well, you repeat once, so 2 run-throughs. The next one is going to be press-ups on a bench. So there's a table there or a chair. Doesn't matter. Exactly the same. Arms are going to go out onto the table. Body straight, plank position. And your elbows don't come out to the sides. Almost go what we call an arrow. So they're going to sort of come back a bit, but not out wide. Yep. So you're going to do 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So you're lowering your body towards the table. So this is a step up on the door. So it's harder.
Creaking.
Yeah.
It's not the table.
Okay, so you can stop that now. If 20 seconds is too much, stop at 15 and do 2 lots of 15. This is going to be progression. And then the third one is press-ups on the floor. And some people are going to be listening and going, you're having a laugh. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds rest.
Same arrow, elbows.
Yeah. So the elbows coming back, not out too wide. Keep your body straight. Don't lead with your hips, lead with your chest. Yeah. Okay, good. And come up. Okay, so that was about 1 minute. And you can feel it. You should feel it on the back of your arms.
Yeah.
So that's it. Nothing more complicated than that. You're slightly out of breath.
Slightly out of breasts.
Yeah. It's worked already. It's raised your heart rate.
It has, yeah.
If after the door the table was too much, just do it all
Glad
on the
no
door
one
of the
came
wall.
in. But no, that was good.
So just quick and simple, that's it. And it's just one of the things I know, and the reason we're doing this is one of the things in lockdown 1 is that people were saying to me, there are 24,000 different exercises on YouTube, but I'm not going to sit and do them because I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And what a lot of other people said is, I'm watching Joe Wicks at 9 o'clock. So whatever he does, because all I have to do is switch on the television. So there is that around convenience of exercise. If you have to go seeking something, you're not going to do it. So for this is 4 or 5 lines, a very short paragraph. You all right? Do you want to lie down?
No, it's all right.
So yeah.
I haven't trained this week.
simple, as we say.
That is good. And I think through lockdown, we've got the same coffee machine, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So when it kind of cranks up and does its pre-warm-up thing, it's probably a minute, if that, maybe less than a minute.
Yeah.
And I tried to do as many press-ups as I could do before it was ready to make a coffee, which is another, because it's just dead time. I could just be standing there looking out the window.
Yeah.
Actually, it's amazing what you can do in that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think how many coffees I probably make,
and you could even split this up if you're time precious. You could do press-ups against the wall on your first coffee on the table for your second.
Amazing how cardio that is, really.
Yeah. So that's it. There's nothing clever or highfalutin.
Mailbag. We were just chatting off air how well our episode with Brian has been going. It's had a real spurt, which is great because it's a good episode.
Injection of young blood.
Yeah. Which is episode 20. No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
So check it out. There's a
taking
few
off a
more
bit,
since
isn't
I
it?
last looked. It's very popular, which is great.
Yeah.
Did you have a story about Brian?
Only that when the same person well, I've mentioned, haven't I, quite a few people go, oh, really enjoy the podcast. Damo sounds really cute. And it's like, no.
I love these stories.
And then someone goes, love the last podcast, big red heart Brian. And it's like, again, no one's learning. I need affirmation. I don't care what you think of Brian.
I said this to you before that
Irish lilt and his good looks.
Yeah, even his good looks work on the podcast. That's how good looking he is. It comes across through audio. But I said to you, lots of people say nice things about you. I probably just forget to tell you for someone who likes it as much as you do. I probably should give you more. But I was speaking to a friend of mine this morning, and she was saying she really loved your stuff around nutrition.
Okay.
Really, really loved that.
Good.
And then which kind of made me think, actually, we haven't done that for a while.
No.
So it would be good to...
Especially because I'm living on crisps and chocolate, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be good for your old ticker, can it?
I'm in such a calorie deficit because of the heart.
Oh, you're trying to bulk?
Yeah. No. I'm losing about half a pound a day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm burning 4,800 calories a day.
Do you want another pastel donata? Another one if you want one. Your need's greater than mine.
No, I'll nibble on a tonics in a minute. But no,
it's a shame we can't just exchange, isn't it? You don't want to lose a bit. You want to gain a bit.
Yeah.
Just like touch fingers and go, wouldn't that be nice? You could do that.
There's the two things that would make your fortune as a PT. One would be almost like, as you're saying, like you can share data on your phones. If you could share something that, metabolisms or something like that. And the other one where I think I'd make the biggest fortune is if female clients could lose 1.5 stone but keep their boobs the same size.
Right.
That seems to be the biggest
right, yeah.
regret.
That is quite a difficult...
Yeah, well, you can't spot
balance.
reduce fat, so it's fat goes where your body decides.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you can't decide where you're going to keep it or where you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever mentioned that. That is something that's really, really worth bearing in mind.
It is,
because clients will go, because the one we just did there was triceps.
Yes.
And I hate the term bingo wings. I don't like it. but people still use it. And I'll say, you carry, I can't remember the exact percentage. I think it's something like on average 21% more fat on the tricep area than men. That's,
Right.
Yeah, roughly. So there will be more fat there.
Yeah.
And doing loads of press ups won't get rid of that fat.
Yeah.
It'll increase muscle size if you do it underneath, and it'll start changing the shape of your arms, and that will be of benefit.
Yeah.
But this idea, which has been sort of brought about for ages, like, do 100 sit-ups and lose fat on your abs. It doesn't.
No.
The exercise has relevance to the muscularity. It doesn't have relevance to the fat in that particular area. And I think that's still...
So your abs could look amazing under layers and layers of fat, couldn't they?
Yeah. And they will.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
doing the sit-up, well, not sit-ups, but doing abs exercises will increase the muscularity.
Yeah, because most of our abs would pretty much look there or thereabouts anyway, unless you're working them all the time, which they'll be more pronounced.
Yeah. And that's maybe worth mentioning that photograph. We'll bring this up now.
Yeah, let's do it. Because in the last episode, I listened back to it. We both forgot that whole thing had happened.
Yes,
where all your
totally.
ECG stickers have stuck to you.
Yeah.
And I took a photo.
Yeah.
Live on air.
Yeah.
And I didn't publish it.
And then what did you say to me this week?
I said, "Do you mind if I post this picture of you?"
And I said, "Yes, I do mind."
Yeah. And I went, "That's why I asked."
Yeah. For myself, really interesting. 2 things. One is, I would always be as constructive as I could be around body positivity.
Yeah.
I've alluded to James Smith before, and I don't agree with everything he says. I agree with a lot, but one of the things he used to say was around things like, he used to talk about stretch marks quite a lot, and women, especially, men get them as well a lot, but women especially would go, blah, blah, blah. And he's going, not so much no one gives a fuck, but why do you see those as negative? It's just because of society going, oh, you've got this element that's wrong, or you've got that element that's wrong. And, per se, it's like the cellulite thing, isn't it? So I think the point I was making is that obviously when I'm working with clients, it's around trying to make them positive, trying to make changes where they can, if that makes them happier, but also accepting that, we're not trying to create a perfect, flawless body.
Yeah.
But when you took that picture, I thought, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you to post it because of 2 things, I think. One was just pure vanity.
Yeah.
I didn't look at my best.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think what happened was that gave me a little bit of an insight, because I'm not able to train because of my heart and because I'm eating shit.
Yeah.
My body has changed a lot in 2 weeks, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking, that didn't feel good to me. So part of it was the vanity. If you're going to send it, I can send you other pictures if you want to post something with my hand. I'll put the stickers back on.
Yeah.
So I was in that real thin, that real sort of tightrope between, am I doing like, well, if anyone's going to see my abs, I'm going to be tense. They're going to be black and white with a lot of shadow. Yeah. Or is it because that to me reflects my current demise physically because of my heart, that's almost like a reminder that if that's the image that goes up, it's like, you're not very well.
Most people look at that and go, he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which you are. So, but I know, but it goes down to the opposite. But I'm also very respectful of not putting up pictures of, I never have been even on any social or anything. I will never just put a picture of anybody up.
No.
Without their asking. I just think it's rude.
Yeah.
Really rude.
Especially when you're half naked, it's a bit different.
Yeah. We went on holiday Turkey a few years ago. We went to the mud baths.
Yeah.
We pallied up with another couple just chatting. And we all they took pictures of us and we took pictures of them, and then we swapped them.
Yeah.
Then I remember coming back, the pictures all went up online.
Okay.
And we were tagged in them.
Right.
And I was just looking at it, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons for me just binning my account and coming straight off, because it was like, and I wasn't looking right. I was on holiday.
Covered in mud.
Yeah, and not looking particularly, I didn't feel good about myself anyway. But people just do that, don't they? And if you take a different scenario, I took a picture of pictures of people in the back garden, we're all having fun, and then I go and post them, or start going and putting them on lampposts around the place. Why is that any different?
Yeah.
Or in the olden days, I'll go down to the local village post office and put them up in the notice board.
20p postcard.
Yeah. You wouldn't do it. Everyone would go, excuse me. But it's totally acceptable to put a picture up. I think that's... Anyway, so that's why I did it.
And also you could almost see that with mental aspects as well. It's almost like if it's that easy that you can just put, almost as you're saying, without permission, a picture of someone covered in mud when they might not feel happy about
Yeah.
themselves. You're not going to put a report about their mental health or like,
No. Yeah.
congratulations on completing 10 weeks of therapy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a very private,
No,
a body's as
absolutely.
private as
Yeah,
your mind, isn't it?
absolutely.
So,
That's a really good point.
so the guy on the chase, Mark on the chase, stood up on the chase yesterday.
Yeah.
And the question was about basketball.
Mm.
And I didn't realise, on average, the tallest player plays a position called centre.
Yeah.
And he stood up and said, I'm 6'6.5". And he said, in the NBA, the average height of a centre is 6'11.5". So him standing up is basically going, look at me, I'm tall.
Yeah.
Applaud me. That's what he said.
Bow to my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the extra half inch wasn't necessary. You are tall. End of. And I think we had this discussion in
Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Yeah, it was really weird you brought this up because I was going to bring it up with you.
Okay.
Spooky. Right?
So do you want to, because my memory of Lisbon on this particular conversation, it just came to me when this guy stood up.
I remember exactly, I don't know why, I remember exactly where we were when you brought it up.
Okay.
But someone had made a passing comment about someone who walked past.
Yeah.
About them not being particularly tall.
Yeah.
And you went into your, isn't it weird how, and I went, I have never thought of it like that. Short
is bad, tall is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it starts with children, doesn't it? My God, how tall you are.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, you haven't grown much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real odd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's seen as some kind of, but you can be too tall, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks awful. That must be awful for him.
Yeah, over 6 foot for a woman. Yeah.
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 And the couples, the woman who's taller than their partner.
Oh, God, yeah.
Why is that such a thing?
Yeah.
It's weird. So it's got to be a power. It's got to be a power play, hasn't it? Or you're more virile if you're taller, or you're stronger if you're taller.
But no one questions it. You wouldn't do it on skin color or gender or even things like length of hair. Maybe you wouldn't like go short hair's bad, long hair's good. But you would go to someone. You would definitely go. He's really, and it's like, what's the Paddy McGuinness? Take Me Out.
Yeah.
What's your perfect man? Well, tall, dark, and handsome. Well, you wouldn't go on, well, I only really like black men.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's like, but I only like tall men.
Yeah.
It's fine, and it's just a very casual form of prejudice.
Yeah.
So, adding that extra half was almost like taking the piss out of me. I say I'm almost 6 foot because 5'7" is almost 6 foot.
So I can always put the extra cushion on your chair.
Yeah.
So you can reach the microphone. Yeah, but you're right. Isn't that weird? You brought that up, and I was thinking about it this week. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Right, we're gonna have to end.
When I said cut it short, I was.
All right. You're too good today. Stop being good.
Okay.
Stop being witty.
Let's go. I've got a lot more for the next podcast. Let's get a coffee.
Yeah, that's it for this episode. Well done for getting this far, and thanks for listening. All links and references will be on our show notes. Please make sure you subscribe to us via your podcasting app. And if you're enjoying this podcast and you feel you're getting something from it, then please do tell friends, family, and colleagues and help us spread the word. Give us a follow on Instagram at I'mFinecast and send us your feedback and questions to our email, which is imfinecast@gmail.com.
Can I put in a footnote?
But before we say bye.
It would be interesting to know how many people don't get to this bit. And I was going to say, I'm going to put my money on the table now. And at the end of your subtitled Swedish drama that you watch at the independent cinema, you wait to the end and let all the credits roll before you leave. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a thing, isn't it? Some people, as soon as the film's finished, they're out the door.
Oh, yeah.
This bit could be the best bit. We'll put in an hour of absolute gold now for the 3 people that are still here.
Bonus footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We haven't got time. So in the next episode, our personal health and technology, we've got part 2 of lifting in lockdown. So we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.